Hi everyone, I'm Mariana. Welcome to my channel. So the purpose of this video is just to share, the tough journey I've been on and experience to finding out that I have an autoimmune disease called Hashimoto's. I also have a dermoid cyst in my left ovary that will get removed surgically this week. And I also found out recently that I have a low AMH. I just want to share my story so that someone out there can relate, someone out there can share with me their experience as well. And I think it's important that we talk about women's health issues more often because I feel like it doesn't get talked about enough. I just want to be a voice and, speak for women that are probably going through the same exact things. I have watched lots of YouTube videos and I have yet to see a woman that has all those three things, like Hashimoto's, dermoid cyst, and low AMH. So yeah, that's basically the purpose of the story. And I hope you guys enjoy and hope you guys learn something, and please share with me your experiences as well. All right, let's get started. Okay, so this is my story and this is how it started. Last year, 2022, was like the worst year ever. I found out I have an autoimmune disease. I have a dermoid cyst, a 5.8 centimeter dermoid cyst in my left ovary. And that my hormones are just completely out of balance, just all these things. So I'm gonna start off of when I started noticing something was wrong. So in 2021, in November, I went to Hawaii and I ate a lot of good food there. Everything was great. But I just noticed that my face looks swollen and my whole body looks swollen. And I was thinking to myself, like, maybe it's because of the trip we had in Seattle. We ate so much food and maybe I just gained weight or something. But it didn't make sense because I worked out like Monday through Sunday, 7 days a week, like all the time. I also did cardio. Sometimes I would even play pickup basketball. So it just didn't make sense. I also have always been a person that actually struggled to gain weight. I was always very, very slim. And in 2021, earlier in the year, I was weighing like 130, 135. By the end of 2021, I was 140, 145, between there. Going into 2022, I got up to 165 pounds, and I'm 5'6". So that was like a lot for me. And that's when I really started noticing like something's not right. But I just kind of thought to myself, I just need to go on a cut. I need to be on a caloric deficit. So that's exactly what I did. And I started that diet in February. And then time goes on, right? March goes on, but I just noticed I'm not really losing that much weight. I'm probably losing like, I did the diet for like about a month and I only lost like 2-3 pounds, like, and I still swollen, like nothing really changed. But mind you though, I'm not the best with my, I wasn't really the best with my diet. Did have more cheat meals, and I probably should have cut out certain things. Maybe that was, I probably should have lowered my carbs even more. But anyway, I didn't really see a huge difference. And that was weird to me because for me, it used to be so easy for me to lose weight. So easy. So that's why I thought it was really weird. Okay. So fast forward to May 2022. I was on the leg press and I was doing really, really good, with my workouts. I was lifting more heavy than usual. So I was like pushing myself all the time with squats, hip thrusts, going heavy, 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 heavy. It definitely backfired on me because on this particular day, I went on the leg press and I remember I didn't have much carbs that day because I was trying to lose weight, caloric deficit. And then I was just so exhausted. And then it was those leg press where your legs are up in the air. And when I was coming down, my hips lifted up from the seat and turned inward. It was so weird. And then I basically like pulled my lower back muscle or something. It was a strain, muscle strain. And I remember I couldn't stand, I couldn't even sit down. I was just in pain. And I thought I slipped a disc or something, but I didn't. So I went to the doctors. He said, it's just a muscle strain, or you had a spasm, muscle spasm. Like, here's these pills. See you later. And I'm like, no. I refused. Like, I was like, no, I need to escalate this to another doctor. So I did, and I came across this doctor, and she was great. She was very helpful. She did tell me, like, there is nothing. She said we could put an x-ray in. We did the x-ray. There was nothing. So my discs were fine. Everything was normal. She did say, I honestly think it has something to do with the muscle. It's just a muscle sprain or something. I said, okay, but just something my gut told me to also check for everything else about my health. So I told him, like, can we at least do like a full blood panel test of everything? I just have this feeling something's not right. I told her that I've been also experiencing like extreme mood swings. Like, I just been feeling like depressed for the first time in my life, feeling depressed. And it's like I would find myself just kind of like just sitting there, kind of staring off into space and just being sad for no reason. And another thing to add on to that was that I was on birth control. I've been on and off birth control for a while, but I got back on it in 2020 and has stayed on it until I got off of it July 2022. So I'm at the doctor's. This is all happening in May. So I'm still on birth control. So I'm talking about it, and then we're discussing maybe it could be the birth control. But it was weird because this is the same birth control I've been on. And this is the first time all this has happened to me. But I'd never been on the birth control for more than a year. So it was about like 2 years I was on it. So she said, okay, we'll do blood work and we'll see what happens. Get the blood work done. And that's when we find out that my TSH levels are really high. So the normal range is from 0.4 to like 4.2. Mine was at 9.8. And she diagnosed me like subclinical hypothyroidism, which means that you're not full on, what did she say? You're not full on hypothyroidism, something like that, but you're subclinical. So like basically you're borderline there. And she let me know that this causes like weight gain, fatigue, feeling depressed, just out of it. Like your hormones are completely out of whack, just everything that I've been feeling. And I'm like, wow. Well, not only is my lower back messed up, but my TSH and my thyroid is messed up. So I was taking care of things one at a time. So I started addressing my lower back problem. I went to a chiropractor. I went to acupuncture. The acupuncture is the one that really, really healed my lower back. So once that took about like 6 weeks to heal. So once that was fixed, I ended up not taking my birth control anymore. I like quit it in July, because when I was talking to the acupuncturist, she was telling me birth control could really just mess you up and put your hormones in a really bad place, so please stop taking it. And I did. So it took a while for me to emotionally start feeling better, but even then I still wasn't 100%. And then I noticed after I stopped taking birth control, like about 3 to 4 weeks later, that I was having like pains. Like I started feeling pains in my lower, like pelvic pain. I felt pretty bad pain during intercourse. And I was telling my boyfriend, I'm like, why does it hurt? Like, this doesn't feel right. So I just couldn't believe it. And then I started feeling all kinds of pelvic pain, but I feel like out of all the symptoms I was experiencing, I think the one that stood out to me the most was the pain during intercourse. Like, that sucked. So, yeah. But as I said before, around this time, I was still pretty heavy, swollen, and I didn't feel happy with my weight at the time. So then I hired a coach. So what he did for me was just help me lose the weight. He really like put a structured diet plan together, and I followed it to the T, and I started seeing that I was dropping weight, which was great. So I was dropping weight. I lost about 20 pounds, and I got all the way down to 138 was my lowest. So yeah, but I remember I was still feeling pain down there. It was getting worse. Like after I stopped birth control in July, each month after that started getting worse and worse. So even though I was losing weight and I was feeling more confident, I was still internally not feeling good inside. So I went to the OBGYN, the first doctor, looked at me and said, your cervix looks fine and healthy. So I don't know what you're talking about. I had to go escalate to a different doctor. Turns out a nurse practitioner was able to help me and actually like did more for me. And she basically sent me to get a ultrasound done. And in that ultrasound, they found a dermoid cyst in my left ovary that was 5.8 centimeters, and then a 4 centimeter fluid cyst on the right ovary. And basically a dermoid cyst is a complex mass where it has hair, teeth, fat content, stuff in it. Pretty nasty, but that's basically what a dermoid cyst is. It forms when basically you're in your mom's womb, you're getting created and stuff, like the skin particles, all this stuff just like gathers together and turns into the cyst. So they label it like a complex mass. It is benign, but it could be malignant. So she told me that it's best if I go talk to an OBGYN surgeon to see if I could get that removed, because it is a cyst that will not go away on its own and won't shrink. It just gets bigger and bigger. And if it gets too big, it can cause an ovarian torsion, which means it's so heavy that your poor ovary like kind of twists and falls off. And we don't want that. So that scared me. And then she wants to do more blood work on me. So nurse practitioner like sent in an order for blood work, and I go get that done. Then I find out that my thyroid level did lower. I went from 9.8 to like 4.6, but then I tested positive for Hashimoto's disease, which is an autoimmune disorder where your immune system attacks your thyroid. So being hit with all these things at once was just a lot for me, and I just couldn't believe all this information that I was taking in, because all my life I felt I've been super healthy. I've always been very slim, like worked out all the time, played basketball in my life. Like I just couldn't believe it. But at the same time, it gave me my answers as to why I wasn't feeling good emotionally, mentally, and physically. So I was very happy to also find out what's been wrong with me. So I would just wanted to share that Hashimoto's disease also contributes to fatigue, weight gain, and makes you feel depressed. It also affects your fertility. So that really freaked me out, because I want a family one day. I'm 25 years old, and I thought maybe at least in my late or early 30s that I would want to have a family and have kids. So that really scared me. And I got more blood work done, and they found that my ovarian reserve, my AMH, anti-Müllerian hormone, was at a 0.80. And that's actually really, really low for someone my age, because the normal level is 1.1 and 12, I think. I think that's the range, but it definitely has to be over like 1.1. And the fact that mine was 0.80, like that really like hurt me. because it got me all worried and stuff. So I addressed it with my doctor, and she let me know that yes, it is much lower than it should be, but it doesn't mean that you can't get pregnant, and it doesn't determine the quality of your eggs. So that put me a little bit at ease. But that's when I got referred to the OBGYN surgeon, Dr. Leah Piss, and she is the one that's going to perform my surgery this week on Thursday, January 5th. And she's been great. When I had a consultation with her, she answered all my questions. She let me know that we will look to see if there's any endometriosis. And endometriosis is basically like a disease that could literally be found anywhere in your body, but it's like these red patches, and they can be found on the uterine lining and things like that, or on the fallopian tubes, ovaries, all that stuff, and that could cause infertility and cause pain during intercourse, cause pain when you go to the bathroom, all these things. So it was lining up with a lot of stuff that I was going through, but she said that we still don't know because your dermoid cyst can also be causing the same type of symptoms. So we don't know. I would have to go in there and find out if it's just the dermoid cyst, or if there's a dermoid cyst that we're addressing and endometriosis. So I've watched countless YouTube videos of girls sharing a story about how endometriosis is, and I don't want to speak on it too much because I have not officially been diagnosed that I have endometriosis yet, but I do know that people really do struggle with it. And I've just been praying to God that I don't have that, but if I do have it, that once my surgeon removes it, that I could take the necessary steps to try to prevent it from coming back. Even though it does come back most of the time, I really want to do everything I can. So now what I've learned is, along my whole difficult journey about finding out that I have an autoimmune disease, got to remove a dermoid cyst, all these things, and I have a low AMH, that I can heal myself naturally. I've heard success stories of other women where they basically, tested their gut, got urine samples, stool samples, blood work done to find out what's in their gut and things like that. So those are the steps I want to take next. And also healing yourself with food by finding out what type of food are you sensitive to, and clean out your diet. And I heard with autoimmune diseases, it's good to remove dairy, gluten, processed sugar, soy, red meat, and I heard like eating more vegan food helps a lot. So those are the necessary steps I'm gonna take, and I'm definitely gonna change my diet and things like that this year just to see if I feel better. I've heard many stories of people saying that their autoimmune disease, Hashimoto's, has gone into remission because they changed their diet. So I definitely want to embark in that journey of completely changing my diet and kind of like let you guys know, like, hey, did it work or did it not? So that's probably like the next thing I want to focus on next. But I just wanted to share my story, what I've been going through, and I've been scared. I've been nervous. I've been scared. I let my job know that, I'm going through a lot of things right now, and told them about my surgery. They've been super understanding. My family's been supportive. My boyfriend has been very supportive. So it feels good to have friends and family around me that care and love me. So, but one of the main things that I was worried about that I'm worried about going into the surgery is, like, it may sound vain, but it's the scars. Basically they're gonna have to make 4 small incisions. She did say it's gonna be like 5mm incisions at least, but she said that they should heal very nicely, that it won't be as bad as I think. So the thing is, though, I had a very severe insecurity in my stomach, so always was super insecure there. But little by little, I am slowly getting over it. And I think another big thing that I'm scared of or worried about is the fact that I won't be able to lift weights for a little while. I won't be able to play basketball for a little while, and I can't go on runs anymore for a little while. she told me that I can't do like hardcore weights or do anything tough on my body until 8 weeks after surgery. So I'm very stubborn, and I know I'm gonna be just laying in bed like I want to go back. So yeah, it's just things like that's been tough on me mentally, because I know that it's gonna set me back. It's gonna delay a lot of things. Like today, I mean, not today, but like for 2023, my goals were I wanted to join a semi-pro league again for basketball. I wanted to reach all my fitness goals, focus other things too, like education wise. I was thinking about going back to school to get my MBA. Like there's just all these things, and a lot of it is going to get delayed. So that's what's been like hurting me and bothering me. And I just wanted to share my story because I don't feel 100% all the time. My mood swings are still bad. I still have depressed moments. I have days where I just feel super low, and I have days where I feel great. But I hope me sharing my experience and stuff that I've been feeling, helps someone out there. But moving forward, the next step is I want to vlog how this surgery is going to go this Thursday, and kind of share like how the surgery is, how am I doing, in the recovery process, the post-op stuff, like the stuff that isn't cute. I want to share all those things because I want it to help someone out there, because I wish I could go to a YouTube video where it was if there's a girl, going through the same things as me. I still haven't come across a video with a girl getting surgery for a dermoid cyst, and dealing with like an autoimmune disease at the same time, Hashimoto's. So I have not seen that. So I want to be someone that shares that experience, because I know someone can learn from it, someone can relate to it. So that's been the purpose of this video, just to give you guys an intro about what I've been dealing with and things like that, because it's been a tough 2022 year with, like I said, extreme mood changes. My mental health has not been good, just negative thoughts, feeling fatigued out of it, just feeling not myself at all. As a matter of fact, when I was in high school, I envy that girl who I was back then in high school. That's who I want to be. I've been going to church. I've, prayed with a priest to help me to stay positive, stay strong, and to, come back strong from this. And after the surgery's done, my focus is going to be recovery and coming back strong and coming back better. So that's the mindset I'm going to use to go into this. I know I'll be nervous. I know I'll be scared the day of surgery, but I know I got this. So if you're going through something similar, you got this. We're strong. We can get through it. All right. Well, that concludes, my story and everything I have to say. Please subscribe, like, comment. Please share your experience. Or if you've gone through the same thing, please tell me, what did you do? What helped you get through it? How did you know that there was something not right? How did, what signs did you have that you had a dermoid cyst or Hashimoto's disease? It would be really good to hear from you guys as well. All right, guys. You will hear from me soon. I will definitely post a video about how my surgery experience goes and post-op recovery. All right. I hope this helps someone out. All right. Thank you so much. Bye.